If you do a traditional resume for my career, it looks really bizarre. But if you do a skill type resume, you will see that I've used the same skill sets in all of the 4 or 5 sectors I've worked at. So that's the reality today. You will be moving sectors, you will be moving jobs and moving from business to business many times throughout your career. And it's really about the skills that you bring in, things that you learn, and things that you can apply elsewhere.
I first started looking for graduate jobs around February of my final year.
I think the key thing in that is really you've got to have preparation and really start thinking about this a long time before you graduate. And I think when you're in even your 2nd or 3rd year, life beyond university, it seems so distant and so far away, but the more that you can think about that earlier in your university career, it really helps you get prepared for when that time comes, so you're not scrambling in the last kind of 6 months to try and find a job.
And also understand that it's much easier for you to apply for jobs that you were very passionate about.
Probably applied for about 10 to 15 different positions and programs across different companies and different industries.
I applied to about 30 in total. It was quite a lot. It was quite an intensive task to undertake in applying for jobs. Of those jobs, I was offered 3 interviews.
First time you got knocked out in the first stage, I was pretty disappointed, but then all of a sudden you'd arrive at the next stage with the next one and you'd be happy again. So it was great to be able to have a really big variety, a big pool. Obviously the more you apply for, probably the more chance you've got.
I didn't like any of the offers, so I ended up applying for a regular job. You don't have to actually apply for a graduate job. You can just go to seek.com, see what's there. It doesn't have to be a graduate job. It can be an entry-level job, and it might be suitable for a graduate. Go for it.
So I think writing applications was something that I struggled with initially. I thought you could have a really generic application letter and just change the name of the company or something along those lines.
Because you might make mistakes. You might do what I actually did for one and accidentally put the wrong company name in.
I was very overwhelmed by the whole concept of having a cover letter for each role. Because where I'm from, your resume is everything. It's all and everything that you need to apply for a job. So it took me quite a while to wrap my head around it. I think top tips for me were pretty much, I had an appointment at Careers and Employment. They looked at my resume and said, nope, this is good, not good, change this, add this. Literally, it was as easy as that.
I learned from them that you really need to have some white space. You shouldn't add too many tables or too many different fonts or make it too sort of weird looking.
A lot of the agencies that I applied to receive over 50 resumes a day. So you have about 10 seconds for your resume to make or break, basically.
Show that you can add value to that particular organisation and not just copy and paste your generic cover letter.
Don't overdo it on the resume. All you need is a cover letter and maybe 2 pages. You don't need to say how you were Year 7 class captain and the like.
Activities you've done that really answer that question well.
When I started to put in a bit more time into the letters and start to cater them to what the companies are actually looking for, I think that became really important and started to craft my letters along what their recommendations were and what they're actually looking for.
You will find that a lot of the companies won't respond to you. You need to do your second round of emails and calling, so it is quite a lengthy process. But my advice is to be really persistent about it and just keep going and just keep trying harder and harder.
But in the end, I think if you can try and take the positives out of every little bit of experience or journey you've had along the way and try and incorporate that in a really positive way into your CV. So where you think something might not have any benefit, if you can actually put that in context and describe how you might have learnt some of the skills out of that task, whether you played sport or you're in a team or a university project, and apply that in your CV in a written form, it is a real benefit to you. If you can talk to it in an interview, even better. But I think everything on the CV does count. It's just the way you frame it.
I think my number one tip would be, be authentic and be genuine and be yourself. People want to see you as a person, not just a resource or not just a number in the organisation. They want to value you as an employee and they want to see you shine.